are not in the video, okay? Trying to be slick. They stood there for like 3 minutes, was watching me talk, and then gonna walk over here. Oh, let's look at the map. Like, walk a trail. Walk the trail. Hi, everybody who's watching. Today, I want to talk about forgiveness because due to recent events that have transpired in my life, I have had to learn to forgive. I went out with my friend, which I don't really drink, but she wanted cocktails. I wanted to have guacamole and chips and just kind of chill out while we were waiting for this gentleman that I was meeting to discuss a business venture. She was starting to get a little bit antsy waiting for the gentleman to come, but my whole thought behind it was like, just relax. I was keeping in contact with him, so I knew that he was getting off work, that he was on his way. She was just kind of like, I don't like waiting on anybody. This is irritating me. So when he finally got there, you know, me and him went into a really in-depth conversation about what I have planned and what I want to do. And because I know her, I could tell she had an attitude, so she got up and walked away from the table. But when people get an attitude, specifically my friends, I do not entertain that. So when she walked away from the conversation, I continued discussing this meeting with this gentleman. And when it was over, I went outside and I was like, hey girl, you know, what do you want to do next? Trying to like uplift the mood or whatever. Well, she was just like, I don't know. I'm like, do you want to go home? Do you want to go somewhere else? You know of a bar? You know, trying to kind of probe her as to what she would like to do. There's like a central area in Scottsdale where all the nightclubs are. Like you'll see like 15 nightclubs, and it's pretty convenient because you can walk from club to club. In Scottsdale, they have these little trolley drivers that can drive you from one location to the next. We saw a trolley driver who was playing mariachi music. She had on her sombrero, and my friend was actually like, oh, your trolley is lit, you know, let's get in the trolley. And she actually paid the trolley driver $15. So we go to this place called Bottled Blonde, which is a mixed crowd. It was good. They, were having decent music, cheap drinks, free entry. We're all about free entry. She was complaining about the music being a little bit too techno, which it was at first. I will give her that. They were messing up good songs, which, side note, I hate when DJs do that. Like, let the song play. You do not need to add a techno beat. I was ready to go. She was in the car, mimicking me, smacking her lips, laughing. So, of course, I look back and I'm like, what's your problem? When we're doing what you claim you wanted to do in the first place, which was leave. So she was basically saying that I was overreacting, which telling me that I overreact is a trigger for me. Then this man who I was with at the time starts to piggyback her and say, you do tend to overreact. And they're just in cahoots with each other. Like, yeah. And I'm like thinking to myself, how am I overreacting by pulling what I thought was a grown-up move and leaving? I was like, if you're going to continue to disrespect me in my car, you need to get the fuck out of my car. And she was like, I'm not getting out of shit. And I was like, it's my car. You're definitely getting out of the car. So I tell him to pull over at a gas station and let her out because she can Uber. She also has a full-time job. She should be able to pay for one back to her car. And he tells me, no, I'm not pulling over. That's your friend. That's whack. We're not letting her out the car. So I started to get upset with him because if I said anybody needs to get out the car, you should have been able to pull over before I got a chance to even think about it. Like, remember where your loyalty lies. So he starts screaming and yelling over us. The car starts to swerve. So when we get to a stop sign, I put the car in park and take the keys out of the ignition and jump out the car. Because I'm like, if y'all want to be best friends and gang up on me, then y'all could be best friends and walk to the gas station together. They refused to get out of my car. They squatted in my car. We're at the middle of an intersection. So cars are driving by asking me if I'm okay. They think that something's wrong with the car. I'm telling them everything is fine. They refuse to get out the car. So I say, you know what? Since you guys refuse to get out of the car, I am going to call the police because everybody needs to get out of my shit. So while I'm waiting for the police to come, they're in the car talking with each other, going back and forth with each other. This bitch finally realizes that the police are on their way. About 5 minutes into waiting, she gets out the car. She walks up to me and she says, you know what? You're a whack ass bitch. Punches me in my chin and then runs down the street. And the guy that I've been taking care of, the man child that I've been taking care of for 6 months, his scary ass gets out the car and starts walking too. So now I finally have my car back. So I go back home, and that was the end of that night. The next day, I called my mom. She told me that I was wrong for trying to kick my friend out of the car. She also said that I was overreacting and that I shouldn't have called the police, but that she was proud of me for not fighting her and engaging in a full-on altercation in the middle of the road. And while I was at my son's graduation, my friend that hit me called. And she was in tears, telling me how ashamed she felt of herself, that she thought that she had grown past the point of fighting. That's the stuff that she used to do when she was younger, that she was on a spiritual path. And I told her that I also felt bad, that I felt like it was wrong, that I was gonna kick her out in the middle of the street, that I shouldn't have called the police on her. We cried and we made up with each other. And the reason why I decided to forgive her is because of several reasons. One, I'm a person that's always reflecting on my actions, and I did provoke her. Also, it's just not worth the energy it takes to hate somebody than it is to forgive somebody. And I feel like men can fight each other and be hugging each other by the end of the night, but women, we can have a fight with one another and you are still mad at the same bitch that you fought in kindergarten. We were both shady that night, which, to add to my shadiness, I was trying to call her on my phone so that I could record our conversation so you guys could see like what she sounds like and what she had to say. But God don't like ugly, and for God, I could not get her on the phone, no matter how hard I tried. I'm about to call my friend. Y'all, this is the friend that punched me in my face. See if I can call her.
Ready.
Call.
Com, mobile, or home, or work, or other.
Nicole.
Okay, calling Nicole Eversley. Thank you. Goodbye.
That's the wrong Nicole.
Did you say Carmen Ramirez?
This is the worst thing ever. It's not working. Oh my gosh. Like, how does this not work? And it was because I was secretly recording her, and that's shady, and the universe works that way. When you're not supposed to be doing shady stuff, you are not successful. That's why I just wanted to make this video, because I feel like anything is repairable, you know, except for death. If you can fight someone and get over it, that just shows that you have a forgiving spirit. And who knows, that same person that you may not be able to get along with this year and that you absolutely hate, next year you guys could be best friends. So that's what my story about forgiveness. And some of you can relate, some of you can't relate, but women, it is possible to get punched in the face and A, still look this good, and B, be able to genuinely forgive and forget. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe to this channel for more interesting videos about my sometimes ratchet life.